Hello and welcome back to WTCL round 11 of Bathurst, part 2 of this round rumble race. It's now time for the reverse good races. And it's Wolfgang Weisen in pole. As he only had a weak lap in qualifying.
Enzo actually is gonna. No, he's not. Rose back in it. I hope he's trying to get him
Oh.
fold and almost. Huge contact almost. Bison leads. Rose back in at her home race takes second from Lorenzo. Then comes out Medio and Darman. Rose back and goes to the inside. For the lead at her home race, and she's into the lead. Bison comes back to the outside.
No contact.
No contact.
No pile up.
As we head to the now is part of the track.
Weisen is now ahead. Easy ahead.
Back on the inside though, they're not giving an inch here. They refuse to back down here. They're still going side by side. But the middle sector and eventually goes back and makes a mistake and drops for second. That was great racing, but that's now dragged everyone into this fight. Menu and Jenny are some way behind the field, so I'm sure they're in a moment, but you can see on the left hand side, Menu and Jenny slightly further behind the field.
Oh.
So that's what happened. So Menu hit the inside wall.
Yeah, but Manu didn't have any room there. Crystal Menu forced him into the wall.
Out by Christensen. And obviously Jenny had nowhere to go and had to slow down. So that explains why those two are far behind.
Oh, what's this idiot?
Clover showing off here. And unfortunately though, Clover has to be killed. Fortunately, he is not allowed to race. So... But Clover is a free spirit. He does what he wants. We got to look at the train by Lorenzo third. That goes all the way back through the entire WTCL field. Meanwhile, Bison pulls away by 8 tenths. So, probably his race to lead now. As we look back to Jensen, as we can see a bit of infighting. We now see Hazard onto the back of Trevelyan. Those two were fighting race 1, they're going to do the same here. We have a look back to Trevelyan making a move as he gets past the Rotal Desert, or was that Farfan? I can't tell. But either way, that was Farfan, not Desert.
Oh.
Oh!
Bathurst is down to first.
Bison leads, but goes back and gets closer. She is a lot closer now to the bottom. Lorenzo's holding third, although it looks like he'll be holding on to that for dear life, looking at the train that's falling up behind him.
Lorenzo's currently last in the weekend's average results. Qualifying 14 and getting 12 in race 1.
Look here at Bison leading Rosebacken. Has slightly extended that gap again now though. Conley trying to get some good points.
Oh, coming is out!
Oh, that's the track. Now that's not going to go well. And Mathers is now going to be stuck behind that, and eventually Kavita now pulls off. But that's Kavita out.
This could have been way worse.
Yeah, I mean, had he not pulled over there, then all these ITCL cars would have been flowing into that train, and who knows what would have happened. Speaking of the ITCL, Chiveri has taken the lead and pulled away there for a while.
And with this, I think it's very unlikely that Kamida will score points.
We see Christensen claiming the inside wall and going side by side with Jenny. Now, admittedly, this is from the lower places of ITCL, so it's not really of any major significance, but looks as if Jenny is going to get ahead here. Although, to be fair, Christensen's got slightly better speed. as we head through here. Got yellow flags. For a second. So I'm not sure what that was about. But there we go, as Trepley sends one and nearly takes out St. Martin. Sonogo gets past her as well. So there's all sorts of chaos going on in the ITCL part of the
Oh, windy down to 10th. Lorenzo is now overtaken by Almeida.
Losbacker once again gets close to Blaze. So, yeah. Again, drops away through the middle sector. So it would appear that man gets better top line speed, but it doesn't have a downforce package at the end. So further down there's Cornelian in 6th, that's kind of sounds confident Labour running around, I think 847. So now dropped to 10. So, to be fair, 1 or 2 incidents, he's right back into this.
Perez on Iskandar.
Oh, trying to force her way through the winner of the main race. Yellow flag. Sure if that's pro or what, but either way. So yeah, look here, Perez is clearing ahead of Iskander. This is what Winfield into the back of this little train for 8th place. There's Shiberia, he's dominating the ITCL at the moment because Arrow and Smith are fighting over second, and then everyone else behind is, well, fighting with themselves. So that's what happened there, and then there's Jenny, and then there's the Paul Christensen and Miller Menu. We don't see the only DNF so far. Or, Roseback really closes up in the final sector. So I'm not sure if Bison has a problem in the final sector of one of the corners, or it's just got terrible straight line speed. But Winfield going on the inside of Conway Lane. Yep, into turn 1. And is into the top 10 as if Lane makes a mistake.
And Jensen now tries to get P11.
Yeah, this is not what Upside Down wanted at all. So he's now going to drop behind Jensen, and that's really not good news for him. It's unlikely that he might not even. Nearly at the wall. Kept it going somehow. I'm not really sure what happened. She was miles. Did she just like lose it by herself? Let's have a look.
No, Iskander.
Oh, she got attacked by Iskander. Yeah. Iskander missed his braking, goes into the back of Perez, who clips the wall, gets away without damage, and gets going just behind Kim and Jay in 9th. Bad news for her is she's now going to have to defend from her Winford. It's in the background and I think Lake got ahead against them. Three-way fight at the front as well between Bison, both Backman and Armedio as well. So action going on everywhere. There's action in the ITCL, there's action in the midfield of the WTCL, there's action at the front of the WTCL. And even there you can see a fight beginning to shape up for 5th between Garland and Cordione. Further back you can see Mathers, Alroy and Smith fighting over 2nd, but they're not doing anything.
I think San Martin got back ahead of Trevelyan. Oh.
See, Trevelyan's come back down the inside though.
Oh! Whoa! And Trevelyan into the wall.
And that's a huge contact. And I think it's
Trevelyan out. No.
No, he's kept it going, but at what cost?
Now Trevelyan is out.
Yeah, he's got an engine
car is on fire.
Yep, and that's him out of the race. And what should have been a promising day for him at Project R has ended in a fiery mess. What happened there is he goes down the inside, but unfortunately, nowhere to go. And into the wall he goes, and the damage to the rear too much, and the engine gave way. So that he's got, okay, to be fair, he could sneak down the inside there. But then, what is St. Martin doing by turning in on him?
Yeah, so San Martin should have left space there, but Trevelyan would have never made this corner without getting into the outside wall.
It was a very clumsy move from both of them. Trevelyan went for a gap that wasn't really on, and St. Martin decided to squeeze whatever wing was left and put him straight into the wall. Bad bit of driving from both of them, and Trevelyan is out of the race.
Dupla got held up. I think they might not score points here.
That could be massive with
Yeah,
Chevaria
7th.
leading. Yeah, of course, Chevaria leading, and he did well yesterday, I think, finished 6th at the end, didn't he? Or 7th, so there was a good opportunity here that Waterford could begin to close that gap a little bit. But this is Advent.
Well, yeah,
they've got pace in there somewhere, which we might see on these tomorrow.
In the combined standings, Chevalier is 11th, Dupla is 7th. Yeah, they probably will switch places. If not, Dupla starts to overtake some car.
He now leads by 2 seconds. So, whatever issues he was having, he fixed. Smith could have had an Alwa for 2nd in the ITCL. So, Nicholas Alwa getting murdered by a fucking JTCL reject. We see Darwin fighting with Cordy over 5th.
Yeah, and the Armament is really slow with this not upgraded car. Now the top 4 can run away.
Sweet. Yeah. Now let's see.
Well, Lorenzo is also on pace with that.
We've got 10 more minutes of this race. Anything could go down in the next 10 minutes in this race with what we've seen so far.
Yeah, the problem for Lorenzo is that every driver who could be caught in the overall standings are ahead of him or just 1 or 2 positions behind him.
So that there goes
and then it's Kamida in 8th who retired, but he had a 3-8 P8s in the weekend so far, while Lorenzo had 14, 14 and 12.
Let's see. Because now, Medio, who didn't take a single point in the first one of the race, is fighting with Lorenzo, who's fighting with Rosebacken. So, this is getting interesting. Off the final corner, mistake by Almedia, Lorenzo time to take advantage.
And we see Red Armor Corian now on the inside.
Yep, Corian's going to go down the inside. I think the Joica's got slightly better pace than the Santos at this stage of the season. And as they go side by side for turn 1, Darwan gets hugely out of shape on the way up. Iscan might now get past.
The special livery.
Yep. And it looks as if he's going to get ahead of Darwan. And up into 6th place. We head through there, and yes, he has. Didn't even need to corner, he just got it past him on the straight. Darwan comes back down the inside though, but too far back to get it close enough, and now when James looks go back at him, Vinlay continues to drop back. He's not under pressure from Mathers.
He's falling apart.
He's the driver. Vinlay has run out of gas. Not literally, he has just fallen apart.
Oh, where is Trevor? Oh, Trevelyan's out.
Oh, Trevelyan's out? Oh yeah, no, it happened ages ago. You don't remember when he hit the wall?
Oh, yeah.
Kappa having a me moment now, just forgetting one very crucial bit of the race that happened. As you see, Desmond trying to get ahead of Sonogo.
I just looked into the ITCL standing. Trevelyan was 5th.
Yeah, he was there. So the ITCL order at the moment is Chiveria Smith, who's fighting with Alwar, St. Martin, who's fighting with Hazard. We've got here at
Farfan overtook Sonogo.
So Sonogo dropping 2 places in one straight. As we now look at this fight, this is towards the back of the ITCL, but every position is important. Miller, Christensen, and Menu. And it's going to be the veteran Canadian Miller who's ahead at the moment. Here comes Christensen, though, who I'm fairly certain is Danish. Could be wrong with that.
Yeah.
As he gets past now, Miller.
He had a masterclass in season 3 here in the Opel. Oh,
very quiet. Well, but then it's a jinx. Not for me for once. He had a masterclass here. Proceeds to go wide and lose 2 places and ends up at the back. Good to see Kappa is beginning to learn the skill of jinxing. As we have a look here as Christensen's going to try and sort his ways out. Bison, meanwhile, is, well, he's in New Zealand. These lot are in Australia.
Oh, Corleone coked up on Lorenzo.
And Corleone's putting in some really, really nice pace right now. Are we beginning to see a resurgence of Season 2 Corleone, perhaps? Or is it just a case where the car is set up rightly? I don't know, but he's showing really nice paces. I think that's a look by our video on Rosebacken. Rosebacken got the pace to hold him off. Interesting to see if Corleone attempts the move.
Corleone goes on the inside. He pulls
better
back.
Yeah, Big's better of it. He's seen that this corner is quite risky to overtake.
There is Winfield on Perez.
Oh my god, this is drama.
Oh, small contact again.
Still got, obviously those two collided going up there in the earlier race. But they're not going to collide there at all. While Mikael Jensen, the young driver, going to try and get a name for himself. He said, "Hello, I'm going to get involved in this fight myself." So he's now right into the back of them. It'd be quite a statement if a young driver manages to fight with two of the best drivers in the bumper right now. But here we go. In the background, being late, and he hits the wall. He's fighting with Mathers. And this is now shaping up to be a five-way fight for 9.
Oh, Jensen, maybe.
Jensen had a look, but it was nothing substantial. 5 minutes 38 to go.
Try 10 seconds out of Smith. No, Hazard and Martin.
The good news for Alwar is he might be dropping back, but the good news for him is Hazard and St. Martin are fighting, so hopefully they'll end up slowing themselves down, is what he'll be thinking.
Sana will drop back 2 places.
So he might drop behind Dubois here.
Yeah, Dubois really need that position.
And he goes for it. He's going to have a look.
Yeah, but that's the outside.
On the track.
Yeah, Sana will close the door.
He's not going to miss the Trevelyan manoeuvre either, so... Let's have a look down the hill. Really does just fly one corner into another, down the hill, blindsided. Think about, can you get the run to send one up the inside, or are you going to leave it for the straights? And Miller and Menu, Christensen after his mistake still a long way behind. Bison's leading. Then there's the fight for second, which could go to about 5 or 6 different cars at this stage. Maybe even 7. It is extremely tight.
Corleone is closing. No move. Winjay had a look. Matters made a move on Winley.
Oh.
But yeah, Winley's back into Travis. The Despoto. Oh, that was out.
Now that's... Yeah. Oh, something happened to Smith. I'm not sure what was going to happen to Smith. He was ahead of Alwar and now he's dropped miles behind. He was
probably the same.
He was ahead of Alwar. Whoa.
Yeah,
so he did the same thing he did earlier. He literally did the exact same thing he did earlier.
Then Martin.
Where he dropped back. Thought maybe he was out of the race, but no. So that pushes Alwar into second. St. Martin's now on the podium for the ITCL. Now Smith's got to fight back that place as he's now going to be under pressure from Hazard, and all the while Farfan is behind him in 6th. Trying to secure some good points for Red Star. Now the fight for second continues between Roseback and then Lorenzo Corleone and Iskander. Really tight, 3 minutes 30 to go. He'll get off the corner, finding it out. See, and Roseback and defend at the moment, yeah.
And it's Iskander. Would have a look into the inside at the end of the straight.
Nothing happening now. Behind him.
Oh, there is the move.
Oh, he goes for it.
This guy on the inside again.
Into the final corner. Got to be careful he doesn't lose the back end. He keeps it steady.
Oh, Iskander's ahead.
Does not. It's going into the top 5. He can now begin to hunt down Lorenzo. Corleone couldn't work out how to get past Lorenzo, but let's see if this guy can. But to be fair, this guy's not going to drag himself into the fight for second all the while. That's how the Darman and J's to get a little bit closer. Meanwhile,
Oh,
because he's been late.
Perez lost some position.
Perez makes a mistake.
They're side by side now, but Perez got a better exit of the corner.
But been late. Is holding it to the outside. Let's see.
But outside can work here.
Perez breaks later.
Oh, Winley's around.
Did he make contact with Perez? We couldn't see because of the camera. I think he made contact with Perez. Don't know. So this is what happened when we. This is what we couldn't see.
Oh!
Oh!
Winfield is on the track.
Well, Winfield's
What
out.
happened to Winfield?
Well, I believe Winfield did it.
Oh! Huge crash.
The hell
Oh,
even happened?
Winfield lost the back end and just
Slams into the
hit the
wall.
wall.
Now the only issue is she's parked right on the track. And the ITCL, I mean, the good news is the ITCL cars are 40 seconds down the road, so hopefully she'll be off the track by then.
Ooh,
Yeah,
huge
that's
crash.
a nasty slap at the rear end. The real question is, will she be able to race tomorrow? Because they're obviously going to need to medically evaluate her, because she might have suffered whiplash.
So Winley lost 2 positions but gained 1. And that's a huge blow.
What's annoying now is, are they going to be able to get her off the track in time before Shabaria gets there? Because
Yeah, it's 40 seconds, probably.
Yeah, she's off the track now. Although I outlaw her after Smith blunder, which is kind of consolidate second. So we have a look here at a 5-way fight in the ITCL. That's Menu going down the inside. And also Christensen trying to force his way past Miller.
Menezes de Dupuával. Dupuis had been nearly perfect in endurances and rumble races, but this weekend he has been disappointing.
Every good driver has a bad weekend. The real question is it an Advay problem or a Dupuis problem? I feel like Advay are definitely hiding something. You know, Advay this season, they've always got a trick up their sleeves. Meanwhile, this guy has caught up to the back of Lorenzo. And he is the man who is beginning to put together some very strong pace towards the end of this race. Whether or not it'll be good enough to get ahead of Lorenzo, he is going to try it.
Try the same.
He's going to try. Oh no!
Couldn't hold this time.
He was trying to pull off the same thing he did on Cordio, but he just got a bit too trigger happy on the foot, or lost the rear end. As a result, he wasn't quite able to score one down the inside of Lorenzo.
Maybe on Wolverhampton.
Yep. The final lap of the race as well, so every move counts now as he goes down the inside into the first corner. Goes back and very wide, loses the back end, half spins it.
Can Lorenzo
now Eddie with the easiest overtake for a second of his life, and now look at the train here, 6-car train for third on the final lap of the race. This could get very spicy. But you see Iscan making a move on Lorenzo, is he? No.
Oh, he starts back.
Probably thinking maybe later on in the lap I can try and do the same thing I did to Corleone. Wait and see if that one pans out. This is going to get extremely interesting now. So Iscan is trying to get P4. You can see he's angling his car for a move. Checker flags out. Weisson's going to win the race. Rose back and catch the wall. Going through there. Rose back and beginning to fall apart here at the end of the race. The real question is, can you hold on for P3 at our home race, of course? Well, Miller was a long way behind. He was fighting with Christensen. So they came down the hill, and I'll let you guess what happened to Miller. Yep. Did the exact same thing with Steve Smith do, but back to the WTCL action. Rose back and makes a mistake.
Lorenzo on the inside.
Lorenzo's going to have a look. Iscan is now going to have a look on him. Meanwhile, Darman's getting racy on Corleone in the background here. We haven't mentioned Darman pretty much the entire race. Iscan is going to get ahead of Lorenzo as they come down the hill. He's going to get squeezed to the outside, but then he's going to get the inside for the tight hairpin as they come right down the hill onto the straight. And Iscan is up to 4th. Lorenzo's got a better run on the outside. Iscan nearly gets forced onto the grass then as Corleone wants P6. He managed to hold off Darman and 1J. That's going to allow Rose back into old P3, surely. Jesus Christ. For a second, I thought someone was about to get flipped into the wall. Let's see if this
is going to try
the same shenanigans he's done before. Let's see.
No.
This time, But coming for the final corner, Bison is going to win.
As we know, anything
You
can
might-
happen in the last corner.
Yep, we're going to see as Armenia takes second. Rosebacken, bad mistake at the final corner, but she finishes third. Isgan is going to
Oh,
try
it's
and
Munche on the line.
misses out. Just misses out. Hazard blew up in all of this.
Perez.
Fiona finishes 9th. Perez pits for some reason. Mathis finishes
Oh.
10th. Perez
Perez lost
got
that.
chased for 11th by Vin Lane. In all of this, Thibaut Hazard has blown up. I don't know when he blew up, but he blew up.
I think Perez had mechanical failure because
Yeah, she's retired, so that might explain her lack of pace or race. But yeah, Hazard blew up. I'm not sure where he was running. Miller's also pitting.
that was like P4,
Oh,
5,
yeah,
P5,
that's actually significant.
and 4th overall. So
Yeah, that's a big DNF in the ITCL picture.
yeah, he might have.
That's the engine gone.
Yeah, that's a certain 4th overall gone.
Right, so now we got to keep an eye out for the ITCL drivers because they're still racing to the line right now. I don't think there's any fights down there at the moment. I think the only fight I can see is the battle for 19th between Snego Depar and Menu. But Esteban Chavarria, well, when your main competition for the race winners Nicholas Auer and James Smith and you're in a Waterford, it's not exactly hard to pull off a win. As he's going to come through the final couple of corners. And heading now towards the final corner. Esteban Chavarria takes probably the easiest win of his career as he takes the checkered flag. Now let's see. Alward's come under pressure from St. Martin at the end of this race. I'm interested to see what happens there. Going for the final corner. Alward is P2, St. Martin P3. And that's how it's going to stay. Alward takes P2 from St. Martin. Smith's going to cross the line 4th. Farfan kills us off the red start 5th. I think they're definitely going to get a couple of points on the board. Jed's going to cross the line in P6 in the end. And I wait for the others to come through with
Manu
no
Dupois.
finishing. So Menu gets Dupois at the final corner for 8. Dupois finished in 9th. Christensen will finish in 10th. Miller pits with some sort of an issue, so he'll be the last driver to finish. Hazard, Winfield, Desdorf, Trevly, and Kamida, the non-finishers. Well, that was a very, very interesting race. Now, how the points are going to work, I'm not a mathematician, so I don't know. However, what I do know is Red Star are going to win the Battle of the Clown Circuses at the bottom of the ITCL coming out of this weekend, right? So that's
Yeah,
that.
most likely.
Wow, Bison winning then, the WTCL.
Okay, so in WTC, I think Perez still won it despite this horrible race.
Oh yeah, she had a really good qualifying.
And then it's Munche and Jensen forward. And then Winfield 4th. Matters, Iskandar and Winley got 7th, if I'm right. Then a huge gap to Corleone. No, not Corleone, to Almeida. And then Corleone. Kamida. No, Weizen and Kamida, and then Darmawan. Rosebacken and Lorenzo is last. So what's interesting is that I think nearly every title contender outscored Envy or Optic Racing.
Yeah. Bison had a lick. He just didn't. I mean, he won here, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't have the good qualifying pace.
Yeah, he just didn't go back out. Had a solid race one, but nothing special. I mean, averages are averages. One good result compared to 2 bad ones. I mean, it's not right.
Yeah, and Upside Down scores points with that 7. I don't know, that's 10 or 8 points. I'm not sure.
What?
Upside Down got 7th.
Yeah, 7th is 6 points.
Oh, 6. So the gap is down
Yeah.
2.
What? 6 points the whole weekend. Yeah, so they move on to 39. Bergie at 51. I don't know if Lorenzo got points.
No,
I don't think so. Yeah. So
Lorenzo
the gap's down
finished
to
last.
12 going into tomorrow. So
12 points,
that's very doable. I mean, we've seen
yeah.
Brian and O'Connor in the regular season to
Yeah,
pick up that kind of number of points.
they only need one magic pit stop and they are.
Yeah, legit. All they need in the rest of the season, right? Have a look at the races we've got to come, right? We've got tomorrow here, which is always nigh at Bathurst. We've then got the likes of San Francisco, which is a street track to come. Brands Hatch showed in the ITCL last year that it's going to be mental, and Bahrain is always fun. So all they need is in one of those races, a good bit of luck, maybe a few cars ahead of them get blow up or get taken out, right? They got a good pit stop. All of a sudden, they're running in P4, P5, and they snatch a good result. That's to Bergen relegated. What this also means now, I mean, you look at Bergen's result, they went on a 7 race pointless streak, and they've now picked up 8 points in the last 4 races coming into this weekend. And now they've not got a point, and Upside Down have just taken some. So we'll see what happens. But, WTCL relegation battle riding on. ITCL doesn't have relegation, but we have, of course, got the big fight at the bottom between Lobo, Motorline, and Red Star. Well, Farfight's players from good results this weekend. So I think Red Star are going to extend their advantage over that slightly. I don't know who Motorline or, but I know Lolo have, so who's Motorline? Oh yeah, Smith, who kind of fell apart this race. Yeah, I don't really, So yeah, good result for Red Star, good result for Upside Down. Waterford, I think, are going to slightly closer than Advay, aren't they? So, although as much as various qualifying might be an issue. Obviously, blown out.
Okay, so ITCR is more mixed up. The winner is Jenny, and second is Menu for this Christensen.
Yeah, Menu is out back, so
Yeah, he's been doing a brilliant job.
yeah, obviously, I now manage Laura, so that's not ideal. However, what this also means now is I've been dragged into the fight for 7th with the likes of Project R leaking from Velociter. So we'll have to see how that one gets on. Of course, Project R had a good opportunity to do something, and
The
obviously
fourth,
the amp blew up.
is Hazard, I think, and then Farfan.
Yeah, Farfan, so big points at Red Star.
Yeah, 8, 5th.
Yeah,
For
8,
them.
5th.
No, I mean the qualifying they got 8, race on 8, and then race to 5th.
Yeah, so 5th place, 12 points. They now go play with Motorline and Lolo. So.
And then next up is Dupua, I think, yeah. They somehow saved the weekend. I imagine that it will be worse for them, seeing the race results. And then it's Chavaria Travayan. No, actually Chavaria San Martin and then Travayan. Followed by Despodov. And then our Sanago. Miller. No, Smith and Miller. Yeah, and that's all I think. Yes, it's been an interesting weekend. Some surprise point scorers, but tomorrow the system will be the same. The races probably won't be.
I'm fully expecting an Abbey bounce back. I don't believe that they are that slow. Especially given that Far got sniped by Paraguay, there's absolutely no way he's a bad driver.
Yeah.
Paraguay don't move often in the transfer market, and when they do, they normally get a driver who they know is good. So I do believe Advay are going to bounce back tomorrow. I'd be shocked if we don't see Deplat on the podium once tomorrow. Maybe not. I reckon Deplat's going to probably qualify in the top 5. Probably take a podium in the first race, and then in the sprint race, yeah, he won't be anywhere because it's a sprint race, but still.
Yeah, so tomorrow we will be back. So until then, goodbye.